I'm going to pass you over now to Liz, who's going to be much more entertaining and informative, because she is the reason why you've joined the panel. Okay, over to Liz.
Thank you, Linda. That's great. Right, so my name is Liz Brown and I am the course leader for the Extended Diploma in Creative Media Production. But this year we're changing to a brand new course and it's a lot more practical, and the great thing about it is there's no external exams, and that will please a lot of people, because the exam, sitting down to a formal exam, has been a bit of a problem for us creatives who just want to make things. We want to make films, we want to create digital graphics, we want to do fantastic photography. So I'll just go to share on the screen now a little presentation and tell you a little bit about this new course that starts if you are coming from level 2 or if you're coming straight from school, depending on how you get on with your results. And I'll give you some more information as we go along. If you don't quite get your maths or English grades, there are other courses in media that you can do as well. Let's have a little share of this now. I'm going to share screen. Let's hope it works. Here we go. Right. So I wonder, can everybody see me in the corner of the screen, or is it just Linda? Okay, we'll get started. So level 3, Creative Media Practice. This is a brand new course and it's set by BTEC. So it's the usual awarding body that we use in the college. They have a fantastic reputation and all of their qualifications are recognised by all of the universities in the UK. So if you want to go on to university after studying at college, this is the ideal route for you, particularly if you're into that creative field and you want to make films, you want to make animations, and so on. So this is relevant to anybody who will be going to St. Helens College or to Knowsley College. Both colleges are setting the same course. So the first year, it's a diploma, a level 3 diploma in creative media practice. It's a 1-year course and it's completely practice based. So in other words, us, the teachers, will assess your assignments on the work that you create. So the artwork, the photography, the films, the animation, whatever little assignments that you are set, you will be judged on how you have put it together, your creative ideas, putting your script together, everything that you think is just purely creative. So really, technically, no written work to begin with. So you will gain experience in creating real media products. Classes will be workshop based. So instead of sitting in front of the computers all day and listening to the lecturer go on in front of you, you will actually be up and about making real media products. They can be anything that goes on the internet, podcasts. We do a real broad range. That these workshops give you a nice little bit of experience in almost every area of media, so that you can decide which one you like best and which to focus on for your major project later in the year. You'll get to use absolutely excellent industrial equipment that we have here. So everything is up to date. We have 2 TV studios, one in St. Helens, one in Knowsley College, and they have the best cameras that you can get at the moment. So they are 4K, really high definition cameras, and we have the multi-camera setup, so we can do proper television programs and help you to learn what it would be like to work in the television industry. But we also have some really good film cameras to help you to understand what it would be like to work in the film industry. So you get that experience both television and film. And this really is a really good grounding in learning how to put a product together. We have quite a number of computer classrooms, and each of the computers has a full Creative Suite on them. So it's Adobe Creative Suite that we use because that's what's used in industry. You will get to learn how to use Adobe Premiere to edit your films. You'll get to use Photoshop and Illustrator to create your digital graphics. And you'll also be able to learn about sound design. This gives everybody a really rounded experience on how to create a full media product, from that planning, sound, making the actual images, editing together, and then putting it on the internet or showing it in the cinema. You'll be able to progress onto year 2 if you successfully achieve a merit in this first year part of the course. And by going into year 2, it will help you gain the UCAS points you need if you want to go to university or if you want to gain a job in the creative industries. So, the creative industries, there are so many different areas that you could go into after studying a course like this. This particular course has been created by BTEC to sit alongside experts in the field and the experts, the knowledge that the teachers will have as well, because we will all have worked in industry before coming to be teachers. It will provide the students really with opportunity to enter a broad range of higher education or apprenticeships, or, as I said earlier, employment. So here's a couple of little areas I've lined out here. You could go on to be becoming an industry worker in filmmaking. That's anything from a runner to a production assistant, to a sound designer, costume designer, a director, anything that you would like to do in filmmaking. The world is your oyster. You just need to work hard at it. Likewise in television. So I put up a little picture of Doctor Who here, but you could like to work on the news programs, the documentaries. My background is making documentaries, and you get to see them on the television, and it's fantastic. Then you've got animation, graphic design, and photography. Those are the main areas that we will focus on in this particular course. Right, so what modules will you study? So there are 2 compulsory modules. So in the first part of year 1, you will concentrate on your skills development. So this is where we'll have all the workshops. We'll have a workshop in filmmaking, we'll have a workshop in photography, digital graphics, and we'll do some animation and sound design. And then in the second half of the year, you have your second compulsory unit, this your creative project. And this gives all students the opportunity to respond to a real proper brief from a client. And you need to generate ideas to communicate what the client wants to achieve. And this is a real live industry brief. This is where we stick in that little bit of work experience, that real feel of working with a real client would be like when you progress onto work in the creative industries. Put a little digital graphics up here by one of our previous level 3 year 1 students. And this is just working in Photoshop and experimenting, and we use graphics tablets, so you can do drawing and painting effects as well within Photoshop. So you learn a broad range of skills. So how will you be assessed? This is the big question, because in the last 2 years, we've been delivering the Creative Media course that had formal exams. And this doesn't suit every student. A lot of students can get a bit nervous while sitting an exam, or you might have problems with dyslexia and you're not really confident with your spelling and your grammar. We are really changing the course to help our students get the best marks that they can get. It doesn't mean we won't have some written work. We'll still have lots of research tasks to do and written assignments, but they'll be internally assessed by the tutors. They won't be sent off to BTEC to be assessed. So in the first semester, you'll carry out a number of different workshops, as I mentioned. Then you will receive 3 to 4 creative practice client briefs, small briefs to get you ready for the big brief that you'll do in the second half of the year. This, as I said, will be internally assessed by your tutors. At present, we have 3 media teachers that go between both sites. So if you're going to St. Helens or if you're going to Knowsley College, you'll still have the same tutors. You'll still all get the same assignments. You'll still all be marked in the same way. And that's really, really good, because it joins the 2 colleges together with everything that we are doing. It makes us a nice little group of creatives. So in semester 2, you will receive a client brief for your major project. Because we are film and television based, that major project will probably be aimed towards making a creative film. And this creative film, you will create your own script and ideas, but you will work together as a team to create the film. So everybody will really have to learn how to work well together, compromise when you've got different ideas going on, but this is how it works in industry. So what we are doing is preparing you for what it's like in the real film industry. It also prepares you in your professional practice, and that's one of the things that we need to tick off the list when we're marking your assignments. Were you able to create your product, but in a professional manner, as if you were in the real film industry? So this also helps you to prepare for going into higher education. So if after 2 years of study you wanted to go to university, then you've got all the skills ready to help you when you apply for your courses in year 2. This is most likely to help you to be able to collaborate with other students when you go on to higher education, or if you go into the film industry or into any kind of the creative industries. Right, I've got a little bit of work here by some of our KCC students. Now, the St. Helens College students did this competition as well. So if a competition comes, we get all of the students to participate. But this particular film actually won one of the prizes. So that's why I've decided to show this one. So it was a competition held by Merseyside Police. It's for anti-drug driving. They wanted to create a little campaign that they could share on social media. So we've got a short little film created by the Level 3 Year 1 at KCC.
For the sake of the recording, this is the first interrogation. The date is the 7th of November 2019. The defender's name is Scott O'Neill. The current charge is drug driving. Do you know how serious this is? Why did you take them drugs?
I don't know.
Why did you drive under the influence of drugs?
I need to get home. Sorry.
Sorry won't help the fact that a young lad's in hospital fighting for his life.
Lovely. So that's a little film, as you see, small and short, but a real life brief, real experience in industry for a real client. And it was used on the internet for their campaign. So it's really, really good for the students to participate in these kind of assignments. So we'll always have something that's real and exciting for you to do. Right, let's go on to the next one. Right, so we have some photography workshops. That's generally run by myself. We look at all different types of photography, because if you can use the camera as your tool, you'll be able to do fantastic filming, animation, and graphics work as well. So it all ties in together. And what we do is really, really fun workshops. So on the left here, we see we've got one, it's painting with light. So we go into the studio, we turn the lights off, we've got a torch, and we can draw images, but we need to use special settings on the cameras. So I teach you all that really hands-on technical work, and it's always good fun because we work in teams. We learn how to do studio portraits. It's about setting up lighting, the professional lighting. It's all industry equipment that we use. We learn about the health and safety issues. Obviously, we don't want anyone getting injured with hot lights and things like that. So you'll learn all the things that is really important for working in real life. We do some splash photography. That's a really fun, messy one. But look at the results that you can get. So, you know, we learn all the different techniques about using the camera equipment. And then it's up to you to create those really imaginative ideas. And these are the workshops that help you to design and create your assignments later in the year, and to get those really high grades, which is what you want to do. You want to learn how to do it. Let's click the next one. And everything I show you is students' work. Everything from the students from St. Helens and from Knowsley, it's all their own work. So it's the more you practice, the better you get. And I know some of you that have signed up for this webinar as well are coming from level 2. So you might see some photographs that maybe you've taken. Keep an eye out for those. So really, the main part of the course is about forming a creative idea. What we found in the past is students sit at the computer, they find one idea and they stick with that. That's all changed now. We'll be working on creating lots of different ideas and working together in groups. You'll be asking your peers their opinions, and in the groups we'll be just helping each other to decide which is the best idea that each student should take. And that helps you work within that group. And that's what it's like in industry. We all work together, not alone. So it's going to be getting a more group feel together and not sitting at the computers all the time. It's up and about creating things using different methods and using lots of different equipment. So St. Helens College and Knowsley College have really, really good facilities. They both have an up-to-date, fully kitted out television studio with multi-cameras. Now the cameras are high definition. We have full lighting rigs, so we can adjust the lighting for any kind of condition. We both have green screens and both have sound and vision mixers. So we can record really, really high quality television programs, films, or we also use them for the photography studios. All students will have access to top-end computer facilities, and if we find a student needs to use a specific Adobe piece of software that isn't on the computers, we can have it installed because we have access to the whole suite. So if you're doing some really good sound design and we haven't got the technology on the computer, we can ask IT to download it for us. So you really have access to everything that you might need to create fantastic work. Students will gain a first-hand industry experience for their major project as well, using all of the facilities. And we use a booking system so that nobody is disadvantaged. So if you want to use the television studio to create your product, we use a booking system so everyone has equal access. So you don't find, oh my goodness, I can't get in because somebody else is using it. We make sure everyone has enough time to make their products. All of your tutors have also worked in the creative industries. We have tutors who've worked in advertising agencies, documentary film, that's me, film sound design, one of our other tutors, and commercial filmmaking as well. So making films or you know, the small advertising products you see for universities or for hospitals, those small little media product films to advertise an organisation. One of our other tutors has really a lot of experience doing that. So we know how to use the equipment. We know what the client usually wants, and we're here to help you to find those really, really creative ideas to help you on your journey. Right, so here's another example. This is level 2 photography projects that we were using, how to use different lighting effects in the television studio to create atmosphere. And it really works, it's fabulous. So what grades do you require to get onto this level 3 course? So if you're progressing from level 2 media, which some students on the list will be, you will need to have achieved a merit to get onto level 3. If you're coming directly from school, you'll need to have 4 GCSEs at grade 4 or above, including English and or maths. So if you get English and you didn't quite get the maths, you only get a 3 in the maths, then you can get onto your level 3 course, but you continue to study maths. Or likewise, if you didn't quite get the English, you'll continue to study the English on this course, but you must have 4 GCSEs in other subjects. If you do not have these grades, at Knowsley College, we also run a level 2 audio-visual production course. This is also BTEC, so it's well recognised and respected, and it'll help you. If you haven't quite got all the results you needed, you could start at level 2 and then go on to level 3 next year. It's just that stepping stone, but you'll continue to study your maths and English so that you can eventually get your GCSE maths and English. We also run a level 1 IT and media course, so it's a combined course. So if you haven't finished your GCSEs or you've had other issues with school, you might want to start at a level 1 course. And doing this combined course gives you the little bit of experience, mix of units in IT and in media. And then for level 2, you can choose, oh, I love making films. You could come to media, or you say, oh, I want to design games. You can go to IT. And that way you can progress. So alongside your main course, your creative media practice course, you will have to continue studying English and maths if you did not get your grades at GCSE. And that's part of the conditions of the course. So if you don't attend maths and English, then you will not be able to achieve your qualification in media. So if you haven't passed maths and English, you will have to continue doing that with your course. It's very important to make sure you go to maths and English. Right. What can you do when you finish this level 3 year 1 course? So after completing the full year and doing well, getting a merit at least, but we like to see lots of distinctions as well, you can go on to level 2 after level 1, as I mentioned. After level 2, you must get that merit to get onto level 3. And you can go to either St Helens College or to Knowsley College for the level 3 course. After completing the level 3 first year course, you can progress onto the extended diploma. Now, by completing the 2-year level 3 course, it will give you the UCAS points to be able to apply for university. And it's also equivalent to 3 A levels. So doing the 2-year level 3 course is the same as doing 3 A levels on completion. But it's really important that if you want to go to university, that you must aim high. You must fully attend classes, because if you don't attend, you're not going to get the grades you really need. It also prepares you for other courses in higher education. So you may wish to do a foundation degree in media, which we have at St Helens College. The foundation degree is a 2-year course, and then you can top it up with a degree at a university. So if you're not quite ready for university after the level 3 course, you can apply to St Helens College for the foundation degree in media. So there are lots of ways to progress with your career in sight. So there's also ways into the industry without going to university. And in year 2 of the level 3, I help you write your personal statements, get your CV ready, and then start applying for jobs in the industry. We do find that a lot of the jobs that students tend to get are more apprenticeships and traineeships to start with. So you will go in at a very low level, and then you have to work your way up. Whereas if you go to university, you have a slightly better chance of getting in at a more intermediate level in the industry. But there's something there for everybody, whatever route you want to take. Right, so what equipment will you need? Well, really nothing. You will have access to all the computers and the software, the cameras, the lighting equipment, all the technical facilities are available in both colleges. However, due to the ongoing coronavirus situation, it would be advisable to have access to the internet at home so that you can carry out research and do home assignments, because we will be giving you more work to do at home in this situation. The reason for that is that we will probably have to stagger classes. Instead of having big groups of students, we will have smaller groups of students in college. So when you're not in college, you will be set some work to do at home. So it's really good if you have internet access. We won't ask you to do, really extensive things using computers and cameras. It'll most likely be doing a little bit of research, maybe writing a story, things that you really do not really need to have the big equipment for. It's also advisable that you provide us all your contact details so that tutors can keep in touch with you whilst you're at home studying, because we want to make sure that you're okay, that you haven't got stuck with anything. And when you enroll, we want to make sure that we have all your phone number, your proper email address, your home phone number or parents' phone number, so that we can get in touch and make sure that you're progressing okay. We don't want anyone to fall behind. Right, so that's about the end of my presentation. I've got some book cover designs created by the second years this year, and these were entered into the Penguin Book Awards, which the results haven't been announced yet, but they will be later in July. So we've got fingers crossed that we might get a winner, but you never know. Eventually we'll get a winner. We enter this every year, so all students have the opportunity. As I say, we do real live briefs. So if there are any questions, I'm ready to take them now.
Brilliant. First of all, Liz, I want to say thanks so much for sharing all of that student work. Personally, I hadn't seen very much of that at all, and it's really, really good.
Yeah, it's good
Really
stuff.
enjoyed seeing it, especially the drugs video. I hadn't seen that one at all.
Yeah, they did really well with that. I'm proud of my students there, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So if anybody would like, we can see the attendees there. If anybody would like to ask Liz a question or myself, please feel free to type that now in the chat area, which is down towards the right hand side of your screen. Okay, I'll answer that one. Olivia has asked when a college is expected to open and what date. Brilliant question, Olivia, and it's the question that tutors and students alike are thinking. Of course, we're all guided by the government guidelines, which seem to be changing readily and often. What that means is, at the minute, college is planning to open as per usual in September with this extra safety and safeguarding measures which Liz mentioned during her presentation. So it may be that to start with, there are some aspects of the course which are taught sort of whilst you'll be at home, but with sort of coming in smaller groups into college. But actually the firm recommendations of that, we don't know yet. In all honesty, I don't know if you know any more than I do, Liz, about that.
Oh, just the same, yeah.
Yeah. So as far as enrolment goes as well, and Liz mentioned it's really important that we've got your contact details. That would be the up-to-date email, that would be an up-to-date phone number. That means as changes come along, we can get in contact with you. So for instance, if it means that the start of enrolment means that people fill in some details online, we can access or let you know sort of the procedures that are going to be in place. But as I say, I'm sure it's the same for all colleges. At the minute, we're just completely guided by the different regulations which are coming out week by week and day by day in some cases. Okay, hopefully that answers your question, Olivia. Does anybody else have any questions? No? Okay, well, what I would just like to add here is, I know you weren't all here just at the beginning of the presentation, but if you are already a college attendee, if you have already applied and had your interview and had the offer of your place, that's great. What will then happen is we've got your details and we can keep in contact with you. If you've applied since lockdown but haven't had the chance of an interview, no doubt somebody will ring you or contact you over the next week just to firm up details and make sure we've got the correct information all about you. If you haven't yet applied, you can still apply. Applications are open. You would do that via either St Helens or Knowsley webpage and it will direct you to the application. It's really important as well. Don't just rely on being able to turn up at college and get your place. You do need to apply previously so that we know of you. Okay. Just one more chance then if anyone has any questions, or Liz, if you'd like to.
The only thing is to make sure we have contact details, because that's one of the things that if we need anything changes, we can get in touch with people really quickly. Yeah. Okay.
Right, well, great. I'll end the webinar now. I just want to say thanks so much again for all accessing this information and being part of the webinar, and hopefully it's been useful in providing you with some more information. Hope to see you all in the flesh sometime soon.
Thanks, Linda.
Okay, thanks, Liz. Bye-bye.
Bye.